Hi everyone! I thought today's segment could be on a common theme that I've been noticing in my most recent therapeutic sessions with my clients, and revolves around how society has an expectation of where you should be in your life at different stages in your age. And I personally feel as though we should start to raise awareness of that and ultimately cut that shit out. So I found that many of us follow a guideline that society has, projected onto us. And if we don't reach the due date on certain things by certain ages in our life cycle, or have had some of those experiences by a certain point, then we personally feel like something is wrong with us, or that we may have failed in life in some way. And I think that that is crazy. Because who the hell decided that we as humans have to act and be the same, right, at different stages of our lives in order to be deemed accomplished and or successfully functioning in this world? So I just wanted to raise awareness of that, as well as the awareness of the fact that I use hand motions quite often, and I hope that is not distracting for you. And if it was something you didn't notice up until now, you are absolutely going to be distracted by it moving forward in future segments. So I apologize for raising the awareness of that, but it's just something that I noticed that I do. But getting back to society's expectations, I see clients aged from 12 all the way up to, 100 years old, right? So at these different ages, there's different life cycles that they go through and transitions and, all that good stuff. But I have found with some of my younger adults in their, early 20s, that if they aren't engaged or in a long-term relationship or school-wise, if they haven't picked out their career yet of what they're going to do for the rest of their lives, they are just defeated. They feel like something is wrong with them. And so they put this pressure on themselves that they have to be at a certain stage, at a certain age. And if they're not, then they become anxious or depressed, or they feel like a failure. And I try to teach them that it's okay if you aren't where your peer is at in your life at this point or at this age. It's okay if you recognize that other people may have already found the career of their dreams, or they're established, or they're making six figures by this certain age and you're not. I want you to stop comparing yourself to other people, because you're your own individual. You have your own goals, your own dreams, and it's okay if you don't follow the path of your peers. It's okay if you decide, I'm going to create a different path for myself. That's what life is all about. And we are all at different emotional, mental phases in our lives. And that's okay. That's what makes us special. And so I wanted to truly raise awareness of the fact that society does have certain standards that they have projected out there for people. And I want you to know that, in my opinion at least, it doesn't matter what those standards or guidelines are or expectations for you. All that matters is where you want to be in your life, what makes you happy in your life, and what it is that you would like to personally accomplish in your life. And it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks or says or does about that. All that matters is what you do with that. And so one of my younger clients, who's in college right now, was really getting down on herself for not knowing what it is she wants to do for the rest of her life. But think about that. Somebody is in their late teens and they are getting mad and angry and frustrated with themselves for not knowing what career they want to do. That is unnecessary pressure to put on yourself. It's not needed. It is so okay that you may not know what it is that you want to do right now. What's important is you allow yourself the opportunities to experience many things to figure out what it is you may want to do in your life. And even if it's temporary, even if it's something you decide you want to do now, and 10 years from now, you don't like doing it anymore, I want you to know that it's okay to switch it up and change and try a whole different path for yourself. One of my mentors that I admired very much, when I met her, she was in her 70s, and she had already accomplished 3 successful careers. Her first career was an RN. She did that, I believe, for 20 years. Loved it at the time, was great at it, got joy from it, but then came to a point where she decided, I don't want to do this anymore. So she bought a restaurant, and then she ran that successfully for a decade. And then during that process, she goes, I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. So I went back to school, got my PhD in psychology, and I became a doctor in psychology and counseling. And so she had been doing that for the last 10, 15 years. And then at one point she decided she wanted to go to law school because the subject of law really fascinated her. But at that stage in her life, a lot of law schools weren't really open to taking on somebody that was in their 60s. So she never followed through with that. But I loved the fact that no matter where she was in her life, and no matter how successful she was in the career choice that she had at that time, if there was something else that she wanted to do, she did it. No reservations, no, negative, comments or thoughts telling herself that she can't do it or she shouldn't do that, or no fear really stopping her from experiencing the things she wanted to experience in her life. And that is extremely admirable. So what I wanted to share with all of you out there, the people that are putting pressure on themselves to be a certain way by a certain time, or have experienced certain things like everybody else at a certain age, stop. You don't have to follow the pack. You can be your own leader and create your own life and your own path and accomplish your own dreams and goals, even if they are different from everybody else's. This is your life. You get to choose how you want to live it. So let go of fear, let go of expectations, let go of the pressure that you put on yourself, and just live. Live the life of your dreams. So that was my segment today. Sorry if this was distracting, but I'm going to work on that, although I don't know how good I'm going to get with that, because it was kind of something I didn't realize I was doing all along, and now I'm doing it. But I hope that this was helpful, and I feel as though down the road I'm probably going to want to talk more about expectations that we place on ourselves, as well as how people around us place expectations on us, and how difficult that can be to overcome and work through the fact that doesn't matter what other people want for you. All that matters is what you want for yourself, and that you don't stop yourself from going after that. Okay?